As communities across the country continue to return to normalcy, our federal policies should reflect that same shift. We've learned a lot of lessons, which telehealth, for example, is one, on things that we should extend. But we need to give clarity on where we are headed as we try to deal with post-pandemic healthcare issues. That means putting an end to needless and invasive mandates, but it also means moving our healthcare system onto a more sustainable and predictable path. We just can't operate in a permanent state of emergency, and we need to move forward. With that in mind, our states, frontline providers, and working families deserve concrete timelines and plans for exiting the ongoing public health emergency, because we need a smooth transition. Given the omission of any direction along these lines in the budget request, do you expect the public health emergency to end this summer? And could you please speak to the administration's progress on post-emergency transition planning across programs?
You pointed out something that's critical for the American public and all of our industries, and that is the preparation it will take once we leave the state of public health emergency. We have committed to making sure that we give all providers at least 60-day notice of when we will bring down that public health emergency declaration. We are continuing to work to make the plans for what comes next. As I mentioned to you, the President has submitted a proposal, and it's in the budget that would call for what comes next. So we go beyond COVID-19 to look at what might come next, the planning for that. We look forward to working with you on a bipartisan basis to make that happen. And what I can tell you is that everyone is seeing good signs of where we are today in COVID. In terms of Omicron, in terms of the number of vaccinations, in terms of the therapeutics that we have, good signs. We hope that Congress will continue to work to provide us the funding that lets us that happen all the way through this crisis. But what I can tell you is that as we move forward on COVID-19, regardless of what happens in the future with other pandemics or what we have to prepare for, but on COVID-19, we will telegraph to you and the rest of the public what needs to happen and as quickly as we can. As we've telegraphed that we need to continue resources to provide those therapies, those medicines, those vaccines that are needed by the American public.
Thank you. Understood. And I look forward to working with you, and I urge expeditious attention to this issue.